And this is the Big Stepper.
What's up, y'all? This is Everything Blurred, episode 56. What's good? It's your Shirley Brown here. Hello.
Van Glorious. This is protected by the blurdreds, the blur dresses, the nerds, and the geeks. With the key, sissy. I am the MR.SHAUN. Mr. Shaun. Shout out to the X-Clan.
Okay. I was about to say, what the hell was that?
You don't remember the X-Clan? You don't remember that song?
I remember the X-Clan, but the whole thing you just did, I was like, what? Just looked at you like, first thing was like, is this Game of Thrones? like wait, hold on. He was like, and then he did the call. I was like, oh yeah, he did do that. But yeah, X-Clan. So I was like,
Shaun
what?
Price. Rest in peace, Shaun Price.
Yeah, so I was looking at you like, what? The what is that? So yeah, what's going on, y'all? It's been a minute, but we're back. So we'll just go ahead and like talk about some past stuff that happened since the last episode. So let's go right ahead and talk about one of the most talked about movies right now, and that is Doctor Strange 2. Multiverse of
Before we do that, we gotta send our condolences. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels.
Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Black women, please, if you're watching this, I didn't know him like that. I just found out about him when he passed. Damn. But yeah, I didn't know he was, that controversial, especially towards the Black women. So like, I didn't get a chance to even watch some of the stuff he said. I just heard about, just read about some of the stuff he said in the articles and stuff when he passed. But I'm not gonna say I agree or, it's just like, okay, brother. We live in the world where it's like everybody has a platform, speak their minds, whether watching on YouTube, like, hey, yeah, like what we doing, but I'm not a righteous brother, but anyway, but yeah, everybody got a platform now, everybody's a talking head, and just it's just freedom of speech is pretty much getting violated, and very controversial these times. But it's his own. That's what I say about it. But condolences to him. Even you getting static? Okay, get a little static. But anyway, but yeah, condolences to the brother, regardless of how people felt about him. But he did crazy enough. He appeared in the episode of Atlanta, which he did a good job, man. He was funny. But yeah, condolences.
I knew about Kevin Samuels 2 years ago when the clip went viral by him talking to the young lady when she was average at best, and it was like, wow. Yeah. And I've watched some other clips after that and seen some full episodes and stuff and some of his live streams and other little interviews he's done. I can tell you that before he was talking like that with women, he was like that with men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw.
He was a style consultant, image consultant, things of that nature. He would do videos about like best colognes or how to wear certain things, how to dress certain stuff like that, and then it went into, you know what I'm saying, how to like, helping your game or whatever, or helping your relationship status out or whatever. You know what I mean? And certain people were saying like what you saw on camera was a character in a sense. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't some truth to what he was saying, because there was majority of times when he was speaking, he was providing facts, and he was providing statistics and data about. I'm saying, but it was still, but incorporated with all of that was this aggressive kind of tough love and just brash approach with consulting with people, you know, talking to people, you know what I'm saying? Some stuff I agree with, some certain stuff I didn't agree with. And he grew a huge following within a couple of years. Like, it was crazy how that happened. But still, it's a thing that, you know, it still sucks to see someone pass like that. You know what I'm saying? It seems like he passed from like a heart attack or something like that. And what's even more messed up to me is the women that are like celebrating his death, like he's this big super villain or something. Like, y'all need to chill out. I mean, I get it. Y'all didn't really agree with his message or how he was coming off to people like, to women like that. But yo, certain women was either, you know, doing or saying stuff that, you know, he probably didn't agree with, and other people probably didn't agree with, and with this certain mindset of state of mind, and he, you know, tried to tell y'all what it really is, and you didn't, you know, appreciate how he was coming off with it, which I kind of get, but to be glad that he passed away, that's messed up, dog. Like, you don't do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I could admit, like, you know, there's certain people that I've dealt with, not in no relationship thing, but even just whether if it's like, you know, work or friendship, whatever, like, these people can be assholes or they can be full on bitches or whatever. But I don't wish them
Death.
I don't wish death
will.
on them.
Yeah,
I wish
will.
somebody might slap the shit out of them or beat the hell out of them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't wish death on them.
Put them in their
You know
place.
what I mean? Or just somebody, yeah, put them in their place or just humble the hell out of that person.
Yeah.
You feel me? But other than that, I don't wish death on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So them type of people, man, y'all need to chill out with that shit. That ain't cool. You know, but again, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. But you have plenty other people within that manosphere, red pill, blue pill thing. I don't consider myself in none of that. You know what I'm saying? I just find some of the content interesting from that state of mind. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just it just sucks that, you know, he passed away, and you know, I think by certain people he will be missed. You know what I mean? So yeah, salute to Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace, sir. So, and now we can fully talk about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Let me say this real quick before you talk. You know, you speak on it, B. All you critics that downed it, y'all some fucking dumbasses. You know what I'm saying? I don't really look at a lot of reviews for films. Like, I don't really read them. Sometimes I'll look at the headline of it and I'll just go on my merry way. You know, with the Rotten Tomatoes scores, sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not. But I feel like a lot of critics is just people that, you know, they tried their hand at doing films and they suck at it. So since they suck at it, they put all their bitterness and all that into critiquing films. You know what I'm saying? They're saying bad stuff about films that are actually really damn good. So if you're kind of hesitant in seeing this, I know this film's been out for like 2 weeks now, but if you're still hesitant because of what the critics said, yo, fuck them critics. Go see that shit. B, what you think of it?
I'm trying not to be aggressive. You are, but yeah. I thought it was better than, to me, the first one. The first one was all right to me.
I enjoyed it.
The reason I said it because the first one, because
Origin film.
Yeah, it was an origin film. It was a nice origin film, origin story. But as far as, I thought the villain was weak. He a great actor too. I forgot his name. But
He's a great actor, and he always plays a great damn villain.
Yeah, but that one, it was like he had nothing to work with. Yeah, he didn't have nothing to work with. I mean, all he was a formal disciple who was trying to, reveal that the ancient one was not as holding good as there was, and he was trying to take over. I just thought that, I don't know, maybe it was the way he looked too. It was like, bruh, you okay? Like, it was like, I don't know, the way they got him looking, like, I don't know, it's just like he'd been through hell, and like, I'm trying to get my revenge. But and also too, they're speaking of the Asian one, what's some called? She's a good actress too, but they had the wrong actress. The whole whitewashing thing. That was just
That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. Keep going. That's a whole nother
I know.
Thing.
That's all I got. But besides that, it was as for the part 2, it was definitely way better. I thought I was kind of curious because when Marvel do sequels where they have, other characters from Marvel, and it's like very highly anticipated. And this one was, dealt with the multiverse, and people had their own theories on how I was gonna go with it. But especially like film like for example, like Civil War and Captain America. It was a Captain America film, but it was pretty much like Avengers 2.5. And then same thing with when Spider-Man No Way Home, bringing back Toby and Andrew along, and and all the other villains, and you try to like not take away of the main character and his the storyline for that. They got all these special guests, so it's like it's kind of like listen to your favorite rap album where it's like, you got all these features, but yo, son, what are you speaking on this one right now? What are you about on this album? So like, so it always be a concern where the Marvel do that, where they get heavy packed with the cameos and special guest appearances and supporting stars, that you try to not knock off what just this is a sequel from that certain character, and make sure they evolve in that film. So they did a good job with Doctor Strange and his situation, and him for those that saw that great episode on What If, when Doctor Strange, it was pretty much that, but it was like a mix of that with a sequel to WandaVision. And I thought Elizabeth Olsen did a great job. They both did a great job. Her and Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job. Like nice supporting nice supporting roles from Juan and America Gomez. Nice introduction to her.
Chavez. The young lady, her last name I believe is
Gomez. Sorry.
Yeah,
my fault. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not sure how you pronounce her first name.
Yeah. I heard it before, but sorry, America Chavez. Yeah. And also too, nice welcome back to see Child F4 back as Mondo. Nice cameos too. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little disappointed, but it was.
I'll say this: Twitter Ochafor, great actor.
Yeah,
but them locks.
Yeah, them locks.
whatever they was.
Dreads.
Straight out of AJ 106 and Park. I don't know what, and then the hairline, like it just wasn't. I don't know. I know I can't talk about hairline, but no, stop.
You'll say the
Tyler
AJ
Perry
one
shit is damn it.
You'll say AJ 106 and Park like definitely did look like. Yes, they did. But yes, it did. But yeah, and, you know, fine ass Rachel Adams, McAdams. Sorry, she's like one of my white girl crushes, white actress.
Really?
Yeah, always no. When y'all was asking me what was I watching, what was that? The Time Traveler's Wife, and why was I watching? What was that? Dear John, not the Dear John, Dear.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember.
Channing Tatum. Yeah, you told me getting on me. Like, no, I was watching because of her. I mean, she was. I'm sorry, she was bad.
Hey, dog. Hey, you know my situation. I used to have a thing for Mandy Moore back in the day, and I watched The Walk to Remember. And I thought A Walk to Remember was a good damn movie.
I think I saw that too. That was a kind of good movie. I think it just came on TV one day. I was like, "Why I'm watching it?" But oh my goodness, poor Mandy. It was like, but shout out to Mandy Moore, period, because she is killing it on This Is Us.
Oh,
is she? That's she better get an Emmy, yo. Yeah, she better get that nominated. But anyway, the cameos was great. Yes. It was kind of a letdown because I ain't gonna lie, it was rumors that Deadpool supposed to been making a cameo. Actually, no, the writers said they was working on, but they couldn't fit it, and it could have worked. But all the other ones, it was cool. People was a little disappointed because of the screen time they had, but it was for what it's worth.
Long enough for me.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, Wanda did good. Like, she was just a great villain, and it was just a great storyline on both her and Doctor Strange. And you know, I am kind of curious, like, if this is spoiler alert, is this the end of her?
Are you asking a question?
Yeah, is this the end of her after Doctor Strange?
I thought about that. I don't think so.
Right.
And I'm not going to speak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. But as far as everybody else, yeah, I'm just curious to see, and also I'm curious to see how far, like, as far as with the multiverse, you know, theme that Marvel's doing with this new phase, like how, like, I ain't gonna lie, I thought we were gonna get some answers on for the upcoming films, like, you know, from Wakanda Forever and all them, but I guess not as of yet. But and I thought whatchamacallit, Jonathan Majors was gonna make an appearance.
As Kang.
Not really as Kang. I don't know, probably as a variant of, I don't know.
Kang is Kang.
I know. Well, no, but I'm saying
variant. I'm like, yo.
No, I'm saying
quack like a nut, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying if you from Loki, he was, you know, he remains, he was a variant of Kang. And, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, he's supposed to be Nathan Richards. So it's like, yeah, see how that goes, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm just curious, like, what if he was playing another variant of Kang? Because that's what I'm saying. He was saying in Loki, well, you think I'm bad? Well, me all my other variants.
And that's what I'm saying about even within. See, I don't want to say it, but it's kind of the same thing within that film. There was other versions of a certain character within the Multiverse of Madness, but and they said it, no matter what universe you're in, you are the same. All of you such and suches were the same. So no matter if it's a variant from another dimension, it's still that person in a sense.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because even in the comics, you have one superhero would have 4 different titles because they're different. They're the character from other multiverses. Amazing Spider-Man is different from Spectacular Spider-Man. stuff like that. Iron Man, superior Iron Man. The Incredible Hulk, totally awesome Hulk. Like, yes, they're variants or whatever, but they're still kind of the same in a sense. You know what I mean? So I just kind of look at it like, you know, same difference, kind of tomato in a sense. I understand there might be different races or whatever, you know, but you know, it's like some are variants and some are kind of different, because you can't say Miles Morales is Peter Parker. Like they're different. You know what I mean? But there are joints that have like, there are other Spider-Man comics that has like, you know, it's different titles, but it's different types of Peter Parkers. Whereas, you know, Miles Morales is this, but you also got Spider-Gwen, and then you got Silk, and then you got, you know what I mean? So I kind of get what you're saying, but I think there's a difference between like, but I think there's some type of a difference in a sense. I'm probably not explaining it the best, but yeah, I kind of get it, but you know, I think somehow they still make it kind of different, where it's like, okay, certain universes it'll be this you know, guy in these different universes where it's the same guy, but in the universe he has different different things going on, and then in other universes it's a completely different person. So I kind of get it.
But but I'm just looking forward to see what else, you know, with the multiverse, you know, how, you know, going with the next other films, see how that goes. But yeah, moving on, another situation that happened was
my turn. I wasn't done with explaining my whole thing of it. I just talked about the critic part. I never really explained on what I thought of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was
No,
I thought you said your piece.
I just had to get my little vent off about the whole, you know, critics were saying about it, just to urge people to see it. I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. I've seen it twice. And pretty much like you said, I feel like Scarlet Witch was a badass. She was one of the dopest villains I've seen in a Marvel joint. America Chavez is dope. I'm meaning to read more about her, more of her comics and stuff like that. So it was good to see that young lady. She's from the new Babysitters Club on Netflix. So she has a bright future ahead of her with that character. Wong was good in this. I love the horror movie, kind of semi-horror movie film feel to this.
Yeah, I did too.
To this joint.
Especially when they was getting chased by Wanda. Like, you know, like, where's she at? You remember that one scene when they were like, they closed the door, and all of a sudden they kept hearing a noise, and she just pop out of nowhere. Like,
yeah.
But shout out to Sam Raimi though, because
Sam Raimi did a next. Bruce Campbell was hilarious in this.
Oh, that's another thing too. I was disappointed with the credits scene. I thought we were gonna get something big at the end. But
I thought so too. Well, the mid-credit scene was interesting, and I was right on who that was. And it was played by one of my white crushes. And how can I put this? Oh, B, you'll love this. I told Trey that joke, and she laughed as well. You're not going to get it if you're. Yeah, I'm not going to say what it is, but once I said it, B was done.
I mean, you can if you're a hip hop fan and fan of this artist,
you might pick up on it if you. but my brain went to something different when a certain thing happened within this film. Doctor Strange is slowly becoming one of my new favorite characters, and I want to read more of his comics. I know earlier this year I've read The Death of Doctor Strange, which was a really good read, and I highly suggest it. And oh man, I would see this film again. Maybe when it comes on Disney Plus. The action in it was good. It kind of sucked that they had to do things kind of the hard way as far as what they were trying to do. But there were just times where I just didn't want to leave my seat, man. And I'm glad this is kind of over here in Baltimore, it's not really like summer. We kind of just got some warm weather, a little kind of consistent, kind of. But I wouldn't have been mad if this was a Memorial Day, if they pushed this back to Memorial Day weekend, because this would have been a great Memorial Day weekend film. You know what I'm saying? Love the Cloak of Levitation. I thought a certain person he's a smaller character in it, but thought that person looked kind of dusty at his wedding. He needed a haircut. You don't look like that on your wedding. But yeah, great film, y'all. Just go see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was just good to see a Sam Raimi Marvel collaboration. So hopefully they can use them again for something else. If not, yeah.
Hell, I say do the next Doctor Strange one.
Yeah, do the next one. Yeah, I mean,
or if they serious about Ghost Rider, do that.
Or the Marvel
who's directing Blade?
This Indian, I forgot his name, Indian dude.
Okay.
But no, I was gonna say the Marvel Zombies. They're making a live action. If you saw the What If episode, the Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a live action.
They're doing a live action. Nice.
Yeah, I say put Sam Raimi on that.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Good stuff.
But moving on, just trying to. So another situation that happened was in California, Mr. Dave Chappelle. Yeah, so it was the Netflix is a joke festival they had at the Hollywood Bowl. And pretty much Dave Chappelle, he was one of the headline. I think he was the headline. And someone came up and bum rushed him in the stage and tried to bum rush the nigga. Yeah, try.
He tried to tackle him.
Yeah. But he ran away and security
ran away. Security grabbed him, stomped the hell out of him. Yes. So did Dave Chappelle. So did Jamie Foxx. Then they got to the point where you see my arm. You see where I have it hanging.
I can do it. I'm double jointed. I can do it though. Y'all can do it. I'm double jointed. So it was like
oh shit.
It was like this. It was like this with it, for real. I'm okay, y'all, but I'm double jointed. I'm double jointed. That's all it is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What them dancers be doing this shit? He was doing that shit, man.
Nah, that joint, his elbow was this one. Yo, it was.
He was like that villain from The Flash, the little puppet nigga with the dreadlocks come out the box. He was like that.
Okay. I was thinking, You could have said like Tales from the Hood, Dave and I agree.
I don't remember Tales from the Hood like that. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Oh, the part when David I agree was the abusive father, and the boy was
bruh. You're talking about 95?
Yeah.
I only seen it one time. That was back then. I haven't seen it since then.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember is, hey man, we want the shit. Oh yeah. You'll get the shit.
Welcome to hell.
And and Hakeem from Moesha. And it, rest in peace to him.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Clarence Williams. What's the scene?
Yes. And,
where's
Shaw? Where is he? Where's Shaw?
That was funny. Like, bro, I was like, Ja Rule ain't that. Well, he was kind of hot at the time, but it was like, bro, where's Ja?
Wait, I got one for you. Hey, B, you like my haircut? This is my schoolboy cut. Sugar Hill, y'all. Look it up.
Yeah. Great actor. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't let me get serious up in this bitch.
Right.
Yeah, baby.
But yeah. Homeboy got the mess stomped out of him. And right after that, in true comic fashion, Jamie Foxx and Dave Chappelle start talking shit and joking about the situation.
Yeah,
and then Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Was that Will Smith? Done.
Yeah.
Done. And look what you started, Will. Now motherfuckers is trying to rush shit. It's like, nah, I ain't gonna put it on Will. But but nah, man, y'all need to chill. Because now certain comedians might beef up their security and stuff like that. You don't want to rush T.I. You don't want to do that.
I don't know why he's still doing comedy, but that's another conversation. I don't want to talk. It was like, yeah,
that is another conversation.
And I don't really want to talk about it, really.
And then I'm not. DC Young Fly, put some hands on a nigga before, but this is before the Dave Chappelle thing. And somebody else, I heard about a comedian, somebody came up on the stage and tried to do something. And my man and the comedian pulled a gun out on homeboy, said some stuff, and then was like, put the gun away, was like, no, where were we? And went back to his routine. So, I mean, this stuff, and then certain people was suspected that he's, I forgot the young man's name.
Yeah.
Was it Isaiah something? I forgot what the
Isaac,
something like that. I forgot the dummy's name. But apparently he's a SoundCloud rapper, had a song called Dave Chappelle. People think that he's bisexual. Transsexual, transsexual. And so they think he I don't know how true that is, but they were trying to say that he did that for the transsexuals or whatever. I don't know. Again, I don't know how true that is. He might just be a crazy dude, you know what I'm saying? Crazy fan, but that shouldn't have happened. And it sucks that's happened, and it's like, dang, yo, like, is it even safe to go to comedy shows? And I love going to comedy shows. You know what I'm saying? I love getting a good laugh, man. But it's like, you're going to have people doing this kind of stuff, man, a little bit more. It's going to be ridiculous. Like I remember, what was that, 10 years ago, the shooting in Colorado, the Dark Knight shooting. I know Trey didn't want to go to the movies like that because of that situation. She was afraid that could happen again anywhere.
I was too. I remember that time I went with my sister and we went to see it, and it was this dude, rest in peace, kid. So it was this guy, he was walking to the front exit sign, and it come find he was a worker, but it was like kind of scary because it was like I mean, he was a theater worker, so it was like kind of scary because we was like looking like, okay, just making sure. But yeah, scary situation.
But I'm glad Dave's all right. Everybody else is all right. My man had a fake gun knife situation.
It was a replica gun, but it had a knife in the side of it. Yeah, crazy,
All right.
crazy.
My goodness. What's next on the docket?
Let me go ahead and talk about another. Well, this one was more tragic. The mass shooting that happened
In Buffalo.
New York yesterday. If
Yes, it
y'all,
was yesterday.
well, if those that's gonna watch it, it was on Saturday. If you watch this episode, yes.
Yeah.
So if you watch this episode, it happened on Saturday.
If you do watch this episode, make sure you like, subscribe, and tell your friends about it. Everything's
Hey,
blurred.
nice plug, good job. But yeah, Saturday, May the 14th, 18-year-old Caucasian male. They said that he planned this, but just say how it was, man. I mean, it was an act of white, supremacists and terrorism, domestic terrorists. He went up into a predominantly black community to a supermarket, shot up. Well, not only he had a weapon, and also he had a camera on top of his helmet to live stream it.
Which is freaking crazy, yo.
Yes. So he pretty much killed 10 people and counted that I know of. I think it was still 10.
And he injured 3, I want to say.
Yeah. One of the people that killed was the security guard. So yeah, but of course, police didn't kill him. He surrendered.
He was 18 years old.
18 years old. Yep. But I just want to say, I mean, I could say like, definitely still thoughts and prayers to the families of the victims.
Yeah, former police lieutenant working as security and an 86-year-old mother of Buffalo's retired fire commissioner.
I don't know. I'm just tired. I mean, it's just still ridiculous that, still frustrating, still ridiculous. And especially too, it's just still very scary.
Suspect name was Peyton Gendron.
Mm-hmm.
Charged with first-degree murder. And he pleaded not guilty.
Okay, but still, it's ridiculous. And yeah, just pretty much the theories and beliefs that these people have and their intentions to do these things is crazy. So like I said, he was a white supremacist, domestic terrorist. And he feared that whites are going to be replaced. I'm not going to go further into this whole situation. I'm just going to say, yeah, condolences to all to the families of the victims. It's, just like I said, it's still very frustrating, scary situation that's still occurring in America. So yeah, I don't want to say no more. So let's go ahead and speak on something happy and funny. So
real quick, I just have one other thing to say about the situation. Fuck that guy. And yeah, hope you become someone's bitch. Or you're locked up and you toot that ass up.
What's crazy is that
bitch. Not you,
him. I mean, it's just the timing. Sorry. What's crazy is that from Kyle Rittenhouse
Another bitch.
So it's just like, and also this kid too, he wasn't from the area. He traveled like a couple miles away. He was like
Yeah,
miles. He
he's from
lived,
Conklin, New York.
yeah,
I
but he
don't know if
traveled
that's
miles
still part of
away.
upstate New
Yeah,
York.
but he's traveled miles away to Buffalo. So that was crazy. And it's like, with Kyle Rittenhouse and him being acquitted, that's it's definitely, it's just sad, like, we fear like, this is a effect happening. And it's kind of sad. And it's like with the whole, you know, still the whole gun situation, gun background checks and all that stuff. And, now we're dealing with, the Roe versus Wade situation. And you got people on
Oh
both
yeah.
people on both sides. I mean, even though that issue has been, always been, a back and forth issue for years. But since, this whole controversy with the leak and all that stuff, and it's back at it again, and these people are more aggressive with it, talking about, this is crazy. It really is. It's just an ongoing thing with everything else that's like people are like for and against, you know. So it's just crazy. But yeah, I just want to move on. It's just crazy. But I'm gonna leave the next topic to Mr. Shaun. Go ahead and speak your piece on another, well, a movie that I'm looking at it. And when I first heard about it, I was like, yeah, the title needs to change. But go ahead, Shaun. Speak on on Sneakerella.
Yeah. So this was a film that I know about earlier this year, and I was trying to keep my eyes on it to see what it was about. Sneakerella. Nice little twist on the classic Cinderella story, where this time where it's like it's a male who's a stock boy at a sneaker store, who's also in his spare time he designs sneakers, because his late mom, she, had a sneaker store within the neighborhood in Astoria, Queens. And but she passed, and the store was ran by his stepfather, who was like the evil stepmother, and he was step brothers or whatever. They bully him, tease him, mess up the store on purpose for him, and things of that nature. Um, he sneaks. The boy, his name is L in this. He sneaks out for a sneaker release, runs into a young woman, doesn't know that she's actually sneaker royalty when he meets her, and the story kind of continues on. They kind of meet here and there, but it's kind of mysterious. But she finds out about his talent, and it goes from there. Um, most Disney films, especially live action ones, the majority of them are for a younger demographic. And when you're older watching it, you could tell that it's corny, cheesy, it's predictable, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, watching this film, my girlfriend and I, we watched it, and we genuinely enjoyed it. She kind of likes the kiddie stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So she was all into to the fantasy part of it. You know what I mean? Which it wasn't, to me, it wasn't too corny. There was some predictable kind of sort of corny parts, but again, if you know the story, you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? I like the modern twist to it. I like the fact that it focused on sneakers, because I'm a bit of a sneakerhead. Um, I thought it was dope that John Sally was in it. I don't know when they filmed this, but it would have been dope if rest in peace Virgil Abloh, if he might have had a cameo in this, or other known kind of like sneaker designers or sneaker people was kind of in this. You know what I mean? Like, as There's little type of cameos or whatever, or have some athletes in it, but it was cool for what it was. The songs in it were good and really fit well with the story. Some of the songs could work outside of that film. Like if you heard the song and you didn't know it was from Sneakerella, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, it could work as its own song for the people that were singing it. So the young man that plays the main character L, who's from It, did a great job. The young lady who played his love interest, she was amazing in this. John Sally was in this. John Sally did a cool job acting. His rapping, And so, spoiler, whatever. There's a scene when he's rapping the song. It's during SneakerCon. And they were doing a live stream at SneakerCon trying to introduce the new sneaker that his company had. So he opens up with a song and he's rapping. And the way he's rapping, again, this is 2002. My man was rapping like it was 1992. My man was legit saying boom shakalaka in this song. And then he got into the wiggity tippity, the DOS effects flow with it. And I was just like, what are we doing? I thought we buried this in the night. I wrote this, but another part of this, then there was kind of a back and forth that was a little corny, but I got it. It's for the kids. This ain't gonna be smack. It ain't gonna be KOTD or whatever. But it was a cool little back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Hamilton did a little bit better with their little battle, but it was cool. The furry godparent was dope in this. The stepbrothers were annoying, but just like dumb. One of them low-key looked like Aaron Magruder. Which I was like, oh, okay. Another one, he wasn't that believable as like a bully stepbrother, but he was more believable to me as like the simpleton, you know what I mean? Like the goofy person, you know what I mean? Like a goofy evil person. The evil stepfather, he was cool. I have one critique about him. Listen, Samuel L. Jackson wore some very interesting hair pieces. And they kind of went well. When Key and Peele, when they wear their hair pieces in their Key and Peele sketch show, it really fit well with their characters and everything, right? The stepfather, he had on a hairpiece, and it was straight out of Tyler Perry Studios. And it was just an eyesore. So I kind of couldn't take him serious with that piece on his head. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, listen, if you have kids that are into sneakers, or your kids like Cinderella, or if you like the Cinderella story and just happen to like sneakers or whatever, or you want to, support, you know what I'm saying? Because majority of the people in this film are POCs. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? Check it out with your kids, or if you like stuff like that, musicals and stuff like that, check it out for yourself, man. And the sneakers that they designed in it were for the film are pretty nice. It'd be dope if they if they try to do a little, it'd be tight if they did like a little deal with Nike or whatever. Like I remember when the Spider-Verse film had came out and they came out with the J's like that same day that the movie came out. Then them suckers sold, you know what I mean? So I think it would have been dope if they if Disney had did a deal with a sneaker company and put some of those Sneakerella shoes out. But yeah, man, I liked it for what it was. You know what I mean? Like I said, it has some corny little cheesy parts to it, but hey, it's Disney. It's a musical. It's going to have that element in there. You know what I mean? So if you can get past that, you'll like it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, go check out Sneakerellas. It's a good film. It's a good family film. Legit.
Okay. Sneakerella.
Yeah.
So
and I don't think that title was a bad title. I think I made a mistake and called it Sneaker Fella. But
I wouldn't be cool with that. I wouldn't be cool with that. It's just like Sneakerella, like Sneaker Fella. Because he's a fella, he's like, understand,
you know what I'm saying?
If Sneakerella, it was a female main character, yeah, Sneakerella.
Yeah.
But if it was a male, this was about a male Sneaker Fella. It's too late now. It's already up.
It's already up.
You know what I'm saying? But But yeah, moving on to the next. Let's go ahead and talk about an album that came out this past Friday. Well, if you watch, this past Friday. The highly anticipated Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This is his 5th album. I must say, man. But first, let's go ahead and talk first about The Heart Part 5. And Mr. Shaun, you had your stupid observations on that, but
it's not stupid.
But
he is the son of Mystique. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if it's an app that's helping them shapeshift. He's the son of Mystique. Say what I said. No, stop. No, so B sent the video in the group chat, and I watched it, and I thought it was good, and I was like, oh, I gotta mess with B. So I said, hey man, thanks for that link, dope video, but you mean to tell me all this time he's the son of Mystique? B, he's a bit of a gift master, so he sent me the gift of my man from The Wire looking at Brody roll the window up and kept it moving. But Trey had watched it, and because at first when it came on, I was like, oh, it's just him just rapping like this. I was like, oh, kind of remind me of Colors, watching the episode of Colors because of that background.
Oh. No, I thought you were talking about the movie.
No, nigga.
Yeah.
Not the movie. But when I said an episode, Colors was a whole movie.
Yeah, I know.
Talk about the YouTube channel.
Yeah, shout out to Colors. They do.
Yeah, shout out to Colors, man. Yeah.
They do the thing too.
But then when he started shaking his head and going like this, and then I was like, OJ, what? And then he's like, what a nigga look like in a bulletproof robe. And I'm like, but he was in a Ford Bronco. Okay. And I was like, all right, but it's still dope. Yeah, I kind of get what he's saying. And then eventually, but I'll say this, towards the end, he gave me chills when he was Nipsey. And if you listen to what he's saying, it's like, oh my, like he's really channeling this man.
Yeah.
And with everyone else. And then Trey and I, we had a conversation about which transformation looked the realest. and I forgot who. I said when he transformed in the Jussie Smollett. I said that looked kind of legit. The Will Smith kind of looked kind of. She said that was the phoniest one to him to her. Although OJ was the phoniest to me. The Nipsey one fit. The Kobe one kind of fit to me. But at the same time, just hearing what he said, I wish I had watched it more so I could actually kind of like quote some of the stuff that he was saying, quote some of his lyrics, because what he was saying was just powerful. Like it's to the point where like that's just legit poetry, what he's saying. You know what I mean? And you just gotta feel it like that's why I say, man, like you just gotta appreciate lyricism, good lyricism, because stuff like that was just fire, what he's saying. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people like different types of rap and they may not be into the lyrical miracle people like that, but you know, what Kendrick was speaking was what the world needed to hear, man, in that whole part 5. So I mean, and I just cherish them when he does it. You know what I'm saying? It's to me, it's kind of the equivalent of like anytime something kind of like ill or groundbreaking happens in the NBA, and then later on that night or that next morning, RDC World, bam, got a video. You know what I'm saying? When something happened with LeBron, bam, LeBron video up. The situation when my Heat beat Philadelphia in the Eastern Conference Finals, which we will get into later.
Yeah.
RDC World did a video dealing with Coach Rivers, which was kind of funny. And you know, so it's just kind of like that. It's one of those like, oh, he got a heart out. Kendrick got a new heart out. Hey, I gotta watch. It's an automatic situation. And when he puts out an album, when he puts out a project, or is he featured on something, I gotta hear my man. You know what I'm saying? And I found a link, a YouTube video that has all 5 hearts, and I put it on the playlist because I was like, man, I need to listen to all these. Back to back. But yeah, man, thoroughly enjoyed that heart video.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah, what hit me the most was when he transformed to Kanye. He was like friends bipolar, and he was talking about how like when especially too how like you know people been taking advantage of Ye with not only with his illness but also too with you know just pretty much his fame. I think that hit, and then also too, of course, the Will one when he said in Atlanta, where hurt people,
yeah,
that part,
100%,
and that was a good sync, and yeah, definitely when he turned to Kobe and Nip, that was a good one. Also, I want to talk about it's this rapper by the name of AK. I think he's from New York. I forgot where he's from. He's just white rapper. He got a video out. Well, he talked about it on Instagram where he was like he mentioned where he started a video. He did a video 2 years ago, and you know he did the same thing where he did the deep fake technology. He turned into someone. I think the song was called, what was the song called? Family Ties, something like that. But yeah, I saw the video. You know, he was you know in a black background, but it was hardly, you can't tell who he transformed into. You think you know one of them was Lil Wayne, but it has nothing to do with the song. And then it was a couple of other deep fakes that he turned into. I'm like, I couldn't tell. It was hard. But he tried to say like, you know, Kendrick, you know, brought his, you know, concept. So to me, I mean, before them was Michael Jackson.
It don't matter if you're black or white.
So
yeah, he changed into Tyra Banks.
Yeah.
Changed into sumo wrestlers and a bunch of other people.
But
but I mean, but even before that,
Lil Wayne did it too.
he was a rabbit.
Mm.
He was a car.
Yeah.
He was a robot.
Yeah.
You know, Moonwalk was a classic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, never played the game.
Right.
Never played the video game on the Genesis.
Yeah, Moonwalker. But what's it called? Lil Wayne did it too in one song a couple years ago where who was he? He was I forgot the name of the song, but he did the deep fake thing. So I would say like, but Kendrick, you know, he did it in a way that, you know, the execution was better than what AK was doing.
And it was with a purpose.
Yeah, purpose too. So it was like, yeah, so but you know, he just felt like he needed like, you know, announcement from Kendrick saying like, yeah, you was inspired by me or you something like that, but I don't know. But moving on to the album though. Man, I'm gonna say it again. I said this to a bunch of people, including Mr. Shaun. This has got to be his most personal, brutally honest, bold, and experimental album to date. This is definitely some grown folks rap, very mature on the stuff he was talking about. I mean, it's a nice, got something, you know, to think about, something also to, you know, the jam to, and, you know, stuff like that. But man, I mean, he just, you know, this is the last album on TDE, so that's gonna be a bittersweet one because him and former president of TDE, Dave Free, they formed their own thing called PG Lang. So far, they've been already getting good success, and you know, they got a Grammy. They won a Grammy for Family Ties by Baby King. So you know what I'm saying?
And he
So
did a stellar job on this album as well.
Yeah,
Baby King.
Yeah. Are you happy for me? Are you happy for me? Savior, it's a joint. I would definitely say, man, it took me a while. Like the first listen, it was a lot to digest. I mean,
No,
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't gonna. At first, I was like, I had to grow into. I had to get a couple more listens in. There was some songs that was like, wow. That's how I felt for a while since after Good Kid, Mad City. After Good Kid, Mad City was, you know,
it was easier to digest because it was in the form of a story.
Yeah,
and the songs fit the story.
Yeah, that
they helped the story. You know?
Yeah, and that, and also too, just the way, like, you know, the style of the song and stuff like that. It kind of like, if you was a fan of Kendrick before that, from Section 80 and all his like overly dedicated EP or his self-titled EP, it kind of like around that rank but when he switched it up, when he did Good Kid, To Pimp a Butterfly, and did the jazz and the funk and the poetry and the live instruments and all that, just switch it around, and I like applaud him. But it took me a while to like, I thought it was dope. It was like just trying to understand the whole concept and just the song. It definitely was very dope. I mean, he just like, to me, that was like, you know, before this album, that was like his most experimental album that he did. And then when Damn came out, Damn was more so like, you know, I'm just gonna you know, because when Butterfly came out, it was like he wasn't thinking about songs, you know, to be on the radio. He just wanted to be very introspective and all that stuff, and it was like a little more underground in a way. But when Damn came out, Damn was like every song, like, yeah, it was like fit for, you know, for the radio and for the clubs or something. So it was definitely that type of feel. But this album here, it's just like I said, it's a little bit of everything, but it's just like so much. After the first listen, I was like, I gotta hear it again. I like it, but it was like I can't. It was hard to me if someone was like, "Yo, would you think this is better than such and such?" I was like, "No, they're all different in their own way, but it's just like so much." it was just so much that he, talked about, and it was definitely very personal. And I was like, damn. They talked about, yeah, man. It's just like, and I ain't gonna lie, I was like, I remember back in the day they were saying that he was going for the rock theme, but I guess that didn't go. I mean, as a creator, if you can
Oh
understand,
yeah,
like,
you did tell me that.
but it was talked about that saying that he did mention like, yeah, he was like, doing some rock influence on the next album, but I guess I don't know. Like I said, you can be your worst critic.
That, that might be
That's
the next project, though, man. You never know.
maybe, yeah. So what I'm saying, or if not, or it might have, but if you listen to this album, he talked about a lot of things about being, having writer's block for 2 years and all that stuff, and the situations going on with him.
That nigga broke down the days.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
it sounded like a prisoner that's writing on the wall.
yeah. So like between that and also too talking about, just personal stuff with his family and him being a father and a lover, a significant other, but definitely, yeah, that was, and
around with them white women.
yeah, that's something, and that's another thing. And also too, what I mostly enjoyed the most, get back to the song one of my favorite songs on the album, Savior, but he talked about it so many times on other songs too, and how like he's he knows that he's human. He always say that in his songs in previous albums that he's human. He always brag about being the greatest rapper alive, and having this godly you know persona, especially on as a rapper. But he talked about all these things, positive things, uplifting, and all that stuff. But still, he still wanted to mention y'all that he's not just say, everybody say like, come on, Kendrick, hurry up and drop this album so you can save hip hop and save us from our trouble and all that stuff. And I like how, especially with Savior, how he mentioned in the beginning, how he said, Kendrick make you think about, but he is not your savior. Cole makes you empowered, but he is not your savior. Future told you to buy a money counter, but he is not your savior. And then he said LeBron wants you to smell get his flowers, but he's not your savior. Yeah, I like how he mentioned that, how yeah, we worship. I ain't gonna lie, there were times back in the day I used to be like, celebrities I idolize. Well, I don't want to say idolize, that I was a big fan. I don't think of them as gods, but it was like, yeah, I mean, you were so like, a big fan of them, you thought that like, they had no perfection, but when you see them slip up, and I was like that with many years with, Kobe, Will, yeah, especially now, but even before the slap, like it was a couple of times I was like, yeah, bro, mm, you know. But yeah, but I'm glad that Kendrick and then Kanye too. I was like that with Kanye, but I knew Kanye still had his temper and all that stuff going. But with Kendrick, yeah, I like how he just mentioned like, yeah, it was shocking to hear about the infidelity and all that stuff, and also too a lot of things too. He talked about the family, sexual abuse situation, and yeah, and just imperfections, man. It's not your savior. We're all human. We just got this talent. Some of us got these talents, and we share it to the world and try to empower. And lift, celebrate, entertain, but still human. But it was a good album, great album. It's actually like now I'm loving it. It's definitely still is like one of the best out right now. Um, so it's definitely up there. The more I listen to it, the more I enjoyed it. And I'm sorry, man. The joint with Kodak Black is rocking. Silent Hill. Like, ooh. Just
Oh, okay. My turn.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. I should be like, go ahead, Mr. Shaun. Speak your piece. Talk to him. Sorry, I'm just.
I've only heard it twice. The first time I heard it, it was a lot to take in, like you said. But I still kind of paid attention what I could. And I kind of listened to other stuff that came out that day as well. And then I went back to Kendrick. And then I found myself really getting into what it was about. So I'm going to listen to it some more. I can tell you that I thoroughly enjoyed this album. I'm not. I gotta let it sit with me a few more times to to see if I consider this a classic or not, or just a really good album. But I love the, like you said, how personal he's getting and kind of showing. I feel like each album he shows his maturity and he gets better as an artist, and he just kind of shows his improvement as a person as well. And it's just so crazy to me that it's been just real close to going on 10 years since Good Kid, Mad City. The production on this is dope because it's not a thing where, because sometimes you can listen to songs and the production will be so ill and so dope that you're not really paying attention to the lyrics. With this, I feel like it's dope enough, like you said, it's dope enough for you to kind of like catch the vibe and enjoy it, but enjoy the production at the same time. You're also paying attention to what he's saying. And he's saying some personal but deep and just dope stuff. I love when it gets conceptual. I love the joint We Cry Together, I think it's called, with Taylor Page. Just that I was telling somebody, I was like,
Fine Self. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's called We Cry Together.
Yeah, I said Fine Self.
Oh, yeah. And I love, like I said, I loved In To Pimp a Butterfly when Kendrick was this character of like one of his homeboys that was, drunk, kind of telling Kendrick off about himself. And in this one, it's like him and this young lady, they having a legit back and forth argument, yelling at each other, you hearing furniture in the background and all this other stuff. And then at the end, makeup sex. And
pretty much the song was in visual out. If you want to visual it, think of Baby Boy, Poetic Justice,
Malcolm and Marie a little bit.
Yeah, in a Marriage Story with Scarlett Johansson and well, kind of more so Baby Boy and Poetic Justice and a little bit. Yeah, you said Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alchemist. He did the beat.
Yeah. Like in 95, just saw the video last night for that. And
that was 2 years.
Yes, I was about to say, they filmed that. I remember they showed I saw the behind the scenes footage. And he's, even though it looked kind of phony, he is floating above water. Yeah. I saw the footage. He is. Yeah, floating over that body of water, and it's crazy how they did it. The joint with Blast is dope. Die Hard. For the Time I Like. The joint with Summer Walker and Ghostface. Dope. I think Summer Summer's verse was different from Kendrick's and Ghost, but I enjoyed the whole thing. And I think Summer sounds like an angel singing on that joint. I'm a Summer Walker fan. And I have to disagree with you about Kodak. I don't like that. That's my only bad critique on this album. I don't understand why the fuck he's there.
I'm talking about the song, period. I'm
about to get into the song as well. I don't think his verse was all that on that song. If you're gonna have the last verse on a track, your shit gotta hit. his shit never hits to me. And I don't understand why this nigga's out here. And a lot of the stuff, some of the stuff that he does and says, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't get it. And I think he's one of the wackest rappers out here. And and people are having issues with him being on his album, not because he's whack, but it's more so he had a sexual assault allegation.
Yeah.
I just saw the article. But
I was more so talking about
I know
the
somebody
beat.
else that like Kodak's verse on that joint. I didn't particularly care for it. When I hear that joint, I basically listen to Kendrick's verse and I keep it moving because I'm not a big fan of Kodak.
I mean, I'm not a big fan either. I mean, I'm talking about the song, like outside of him. Yeah, just the beat, you know.
You're talking about outside of Kodak.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't understand why he was there. But hey, it's a good look for him, I guess. Some of Kendrick's fans might go over and listen to his stuff, but he doesn't. Me personally, he don't do it for me. I don't understand his hype. Just like I think he's one of the wackest niggas out here. Just like with Lil Uzi Vert, I don't get it with him neither. But you know, that's something else. Back to Kendrick. Like I said, Baby Keem was on a record that I thoroughly enjoyed. He did his thing on that joint. Kind of almost thought he was Kendrick on it because the way he was rapping like Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
But if y'all haven't listened to this album, do it. And but I will say this, I do think this album will get nominated for a Grammy for Best Rap Album.
He'll win.
And he might have a song on, you know, for Best Rap Song or whatever, or Best Rap Performance or whatever. But I do think going forward within this year, he might have a couple of might have some competition for that spot. Because from what I've been hearing with Lil Baby, he might pick up right where he left off at with My Turn. If you haven't heard My Turn, I know Lil Baby probably not your thing, but to me, My Turn was a classic. It even surprised me that I loved it that much. So if Lil Baby Project is just as good as My Turn, then it might be a good little competition for Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And then I want to see who else comes out this year that's going to try to top what Kendrick did. But man, you know, I appreciate what Cole does. I did like Drake last album, Certified Lover Boy, but I feel like Mr. Morale, certain people I think probably forgot about Kendrick a little bit because, you know, his last album was 5 years ago. Prior to this was 5 years ago. So I don't think too many people, I think certain people still had him in that conversation. But now it's like he's fully immersed, you know, fully, you know, back into the conversation because of this album. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's smoking on top fives. You know, like I said, I need to let this sit with me some more. So, you know, if I consider it a classic or just a really good album, but either way, he did the damn thing on this. And yeah, he's still that dude to me, man. You know, he's still that dude, and he's proven it. And I'm also curious to see what other talent is on PG Lang, and I thought I thought there would be more people from his label on this project, but you know, he might do a compilation or something. Because if I'm not mistaken, he already announced a tour, and I think they're going to be in DC.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tempting.
So,
It's tempting.
yeah.
It's tempting. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah. Word.
But
So,
but let's
but
talk
yeah,
about
loved it.
Auntie's Diaries. That was a song. Auntie's Diaries.
Oh, okay.
Where he's talking about trans rights. His family trans.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Bold. Bold. Bold.
Yeah.
Um, See, I always kind of cringe when people do stuff like that because it's like, well, did you get like, are they cool with this? Like, do they know about this record? Like, did they play? Because I remember when Royce the Five Nine came up with the Book of Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't get his dad's blessing to kind of put his dad's business out there like that. So his
Mm-hmm.
dad wasn't a fan of, him putting the stuff out, and Royce was like, yeah, I should have, asked him about it, played the stuff on, and if he said no, I probably wouldn't put it on it, but yeah, uh, that was some bold stuff to talk about, um, and then when he flipped it with the what was it, the cousin
Yeah.
at the end? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I don't know. Like, I think, like, with that, I don't know. I don't know if that's like the name. He probably like protecting names. He probably changed the names around. Maybe if not.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but I will say, yeah, definitely a very bold and brilliant, beautiful song.
Yes.
But I will say that ever since when the album released, and I was on Twitter and listening to people reading people's reactions, and they was definitely it was some folks that like was up in arms because he said the F word. Because
Yeah, that ending was interesting.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody missed people like that last line pretty much explains everything and why he did it. And then like you get mad when you just hear him drop the F word. But yeah, but that when he yeah, definitely, when he mentioned, yeah, F word, we can say it together. But only if you let the white girl say say nigga that. And I
Hey,
remember that
nigga, yeah.
situation. That
Yeah, I
situation.
remember that too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
So it's pretty much saying, it's not cool. And pretty much the contradictions of it all with, with
Yeah,
saying that stuff. But
yeah,
yeah, it was pretty much,
yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, people will miss the message on that. They just keep, because the F word has been banned in rap, period.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, bold for him to say it again, but say it in the way that, there's a reason why he's saying it.
He's saying it for it, because let me tell you, No Malice
Mm-hmm.
had a song a few years ago, and though he's a Christian rapper, he did curse, but he was saying it for, because he was like, young women, you were not a bitch. He
Mm-hmm.
said that for a reason. You feel me? Um, and he said a couple other terms or whatever. But it was like, he was saying that stuff to get a point across.
Right.
And I'm not mad at you saying it to get a point across.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing it on purpose, and there's no uh no pun intended, but it's no malice or no malicious intent with him saying it. He's saying it to kind of, to prove a point.
Right.
So when you getting up in arms, relax. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, it's that one hit hard in a sense, you know what
But
I
yeah, but
mean?
also too on that song, I like how, like, especially in the last verse he did when he talked about the cousin, and yeah, I just love how not only he was talking about the defending about trans rights, and also too he was also in homosexuality. Oh, trans right mostly, but also I love how he mentioned about the whole scenario, but about the church, how he was talking about how like the pastor was looking at his cousin,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and pretty much the typical situation with the church, how they feel about you know gays and lesbians and trans.
Yeah.
So and how so I like how he mentioned about that, and pretty much saying how he decided to chose humanity over religion with what's for loving. He decided to go over that, choose humanity over religion with the situation that's been happening with his aunt and his cousin, and that's like pretty much relatable regardless your race. Everybody's going through that situation. So yeah, but definitely great song. But yeah, but just a great album. Definitely is. It definitely grew on me like that Friday. Like Friday, I listened to it like a bunch more times. And but Savior, man, it's always that one. Like I want to say one or two or three songs that gets heavy replay on every Kendrick album. I swear to you, not. Section 80, it can be rigor mortis and
Rigor mortis was my
yeah, rigor mortis,
rigor
hold
mortis, and what's my joint? Shit. ADHD.
Yeah, ADHD. Yeah.
8 minutes to the face.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that joint.
Yeah. So what was the other one? Hold up. And it was an interlude that like I wish it was like it was so smooth. Chapter 6.
Too many niggas.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Oh yeah. The spiteful chant. Yeah, that was. And my joint is also too the Absol and the what's your life core to me? What's your life? Yeah. And of course, but yeah. So it's always like a song or like two or three that always like I put on heavy replay because it just hit so hard. So you got that. So in Good Kid, Mad City, it was definitely Sing About Me. Sing About Me, just like
Sing About Me. For me, it was also Backseat Freestyle.
Yeah.
I kind of had Poetic Justice on replay as well. The one joint with Dr. Dre.
Compton.
I know it's called Compton. The Murray joint.
Oh, or are you talking about Compton or the recipe?
Both. I'll say both. I'll say both.
Yeah.
I'll say both. I like both.
Yeah. But yeah, and Black Boy Fly, that was them too. And Real.
Fly. Yeah, Black Boy Fly.
Yeah, but also
I'm real. I'm real.
Yeah.
I'm really, really real.
Yeah. And then when it came to Pimp a Butterfly, it was a all right was like I was like because at the times we was in that time with the whole police brutality, it was like all right. And to me it was all right and Mama.
This dick ain't free. I mean, baby, you want to have a baby? Name is
Yeah.
That was
Mama.
my choice.
Mama.
Yeah.
How much the dollar cost?
The joint with George Clinton.
Yeah. What's the theory?
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. Fuck you.
My joint with Ron Osley.
How much the dollar cost?
I got chills off that shit.
Yeah. And complexion.
Chills.
Complexion.
Rhapsody on there? I was Tupac when I heard rap on there. I said, yes.
And she was the only rap feature like that was that was dope though. But and then when Untitled on Master, it was like to me it was Get God on the phone. I see jigaboos. I see styrofoam. And that one with J Rock and Punch. How was that joint? Yeah, they was talking about, you know, black empowerment and all that stuff. And then the other one was CeeLo, that smooth joint. Oh, elevate.
Oh yeah, Elevate
Yeah.
School.
Yeah, with Alicia Keys' son did the beat on the second half. Yeah, Egypt. Yeah, he did the second half beat. Yeah, he even said like, yeah, shout out to Young Egypt, and he was on there. He was like,
How
yeah,
young was he?
he was how young was he? Yeah, he was like less than, I'm gonna say like 8, 7. Yeah, I could be wrong, but yeah, he was like, I mean, he's a talented kid. I mean, of course, he got a talented
I
parents.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got talented parents, so we can't go wrong.
you know what I'm
It's in the blood.
saying?
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then when Damn came out, to me it was
Oh boy.
it was too
Oh,
many, but to me it was
the Ninth Wonder Joy talking about
yeah,
his dad and Punch.
yeah, Phil,
Motherfucking, I got loyalty and royalty inside my den.
yeah.
Oh, but
Phil,
to Pimp a Butterfly, I gotta go back. King Kuta. What was
yeah,
that damn?
yeah,
To Pimp a Butterfly,
yeah.
King Kuta. What else was it with damn? Ain't nobody praying for me.
Yeah, Phil, Fear.
Why
why God?
Fear. Listen, with Fear was scary. That first, how did this man channel every black mother
Yeah,
ever?
yeah,
I'll beat your ass if you
yeah,
I'll beat your ass if you don't finish that piece of you better eat every I'll beat your ass if you break that video game. I'll beat you. What?
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
definitely.
joy. If I'm gonna slap a pussy ass nigga, I'm gonna make it
Element.
sexy.
Element. Yep. Yeah. But
Uncle Kendrick. Yeah, that's the business.
Yeah.
My Uncle Carl. My Uncle Carl Duckworth ain't on my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like Humble is all right. I mean, to me, it's like, yep, it's not bad.
Humble.
Yeah. But but I want to say for this album, definitely Savior is my joint. I love what's it called? The first joint, United in Grief. And of course, Auntie Stories and Mirror, the last song. Oh, Crown is my joint. I wish Crown was a little bit more. We can't please everybody. The piano.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, what's them called? Like I said, yeah, I mean, there's some joints, but definitely Savior is just my joint right now. But yeah, shout out to Kendrick.
Salute.
So, you good? Or it's like kind of like the last one.
I'm good. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead. Go ahead, Avery.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Breon, so much for that introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Avery Johnson, and we're here to talk NBA playoffs. It is heating up, y'all. It is heating. You know, I love me my basketball. I try to go to all the games that I can. You know what I'm saying? And it is some great ball. It's some ball going on right now, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of game sevens happening today.
2 of them things. Okay, so congratulations once again to Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
They've been resting and they watching as well. Salute to my man Jimmy Buckets. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the 6th man. You know what I'm saying? Tell a hero. You know what I'm saying? Man. Salute to the Golden State Warriors because they advanced. Memphis, y'all put up a hell of a fight against them, and I'm curious to see how well y'all going to do next season. Because man, John Morant, bro, you man, you are a joy to watch, man.
Yeah, he needs to hit the gym, like, for real. He definitely needs to hit the gym, because I'd be worried about him when he like falls, especially when he's up that high. The landing, sometimes he be. But yeah, but if you're trying to like, especially with the last injury he has with his knee, the bruise, the bone bruise from his knee, that's like similar stuff with Allen Iverson.
Well, do me a favor. If you want to tell him to go to the gym, tell AD to go to the fucking gym as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as of right now, I want to say it's Boston versus Milwaukee. Do we have an update on the score?
Nah, I thought yeah.
You thought I was what?
I thought you was like, I saw you looking at the TV. I thought you was like, yeah.
I'm playing music.
I know.
I don't on her joint. I don't know how to I know she got the main channels. I don't know how to get to it. But as of right now, the Bucks are up by 10. And it's 24-14. 2 minutes and 19 seconds in the first quarter. I'm assuming they're playing at who's the higher seed? Boston?
I think Milwaukee was.
Milwaukee
No, Boston
is. Yeah, because Boston was 2, Milwaukee was 3. Yeah. So at first I was like, man, I felt like Boston really doesn't have an answer for Giannis. At the same but at the same time, I was like, Boston has been on a roll for a good while, and I wouldn't mind seeing that old Miami-Boston rivalry, because it was a rivalry when it was, D-Wade, LeBron, Chris Bosh, and then over in Boston, it was Rondo, KG, people like that. You know what I'm saying? And then over on the West Coast, you got the Phoenix versus Dallas. And I was never the biggest Dallas Mavs fan. There were certain players that I liked. But
yeah, me too.
I enjoy watching Luka. Luka is amazing to me. And I'm like, yeah, I think Phoenix will pull this one off. Because I was looking at it like this, yo. I was like, man, for real, as far as today goes, I was like, yo, man, black coaches' lives matter. I'm going to go with Boston. I'm going to go with Phoenix.
I ain't gonna lie. I am proud of, I don't want to slaughter his name, but Nia
Long's husband.
Yeah. So pretty much, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because at first they was, struggling. They was questioning him too.
Lucky
at
son
first.
of a gun.
So yeah, but I remember they was like questioning him like that first half of the season because they were struggling. But they improved and
got up there, man.
Got up there. Too bad the Lakers didn't do that. But anyway,
another story.
Yep. But yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to Boston. Shout out to Boston for the the growth and the improvement through the season. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of do want part of me do want Boston, because I do. Like I said, I like the core. I like Tatum, Brown, Smart.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown is my dude.
Yeah.
And I do think that if Jaylen Brown if he becomes a free agent, I think he'll be a star at whatever team he goes to.
Yeah, but I kind of wish that he stayed, because I like the core, like with him and Smart and Tatum and Horford.
Smart defensive player of the year.
Yeah. So I just like that core, and like I said, they definitely has I'm really hoping, like, yeah, hopefully, part of me wants to see them advance. And like I said, they got history with the Heat too from their bubble playoffs.
That
That
too.
was
Yep.
yeah. So I would like to see that rematch. So I mean, but if Giannis wins it with the Bucks, yeah,
It is what it
it
is.
is what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But as for the I ain't gonna lie, for Memphis, that whole situation when Ja got hurt and he thought that Jordan Poole did him dirty. Actually, it wasn't Jordan Poole, it was more so Clay before that. That while his he had that bone bruise in his knee. Yeah, because Poole didn't he touched him, but it wasn't he didn't pull his knee like they claim. But also too, I ain't gonna lie, I like Steph Curry. I really don't care. I mean, Clay is a good player,
Yeah.
but I just don't care for. I can't stand the war. Besides that, I just can't stand the war. I mean, I like.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, I was a fan when they like back in when Mark Jackson was the coach and when they was
Salute to
like
Mark
trying.
Jackson. Let's
Yeah,
be clear.
yeah,
Don't give Steve Kerr all them props, yo.
right.
Mark Jackson created the makeup of that team. That's why that team is like Steve Kerr just walked in
Yeah, he's
to
walked
that
in.
situation.
Yeah, pretty
He
much.
probably added his own little thing to it a little bit, but
This is
the
all Mark
makeup was
Jackson.
already there. The
Yeah,
chemistry was already there.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna I mean, they got some great players, like I said. I mean, I really can't spot. I mean, Draymond, to me, is a dirty player. He is, bruh. Clay, I mean, he's a good player. I just like, I mean,
Clay.
he's a good player. Clay. I don't know, man. It's just like, and he's not really 100%, but since the injury from the Raptors at the finals a couple years ago. But I don't know, when they won their first championship, they just feeling themselves more. I mean, you supposed to when you win a championship. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, I just can't. Yeah, I kind of did want it.
I don't know if they was feeling these. I kind of disagree on that. I kind of feel like, they was just playing good ball. They was on top of the world at a time, and they was doing their thing.
No, I mean, it was times
where that is going to give you sort of confidence booster. You won a championship, you were champion.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
And you know what I'm saying? There were times where, like, this is when Seth, he was just shooting out there, and he shoots and he turns around because he knows going on, like, oh, you I mean, I know you good, no, but damn, okay. But yeah, he was doing like stuff like that when he was like, he shot it and looked at the bench like that, and like, yeah, I got it. Yeah. But I don't know. But I mean, they got some good players. I mean, I'm just saying, and like I said, Draymond, he's just a very dirty player.
And plus, you also got to look at it like this, yo. You're dealing with other people that's talking shit on the court.
Yeah.
So you're going to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to let the action speak for yourselves.
And also,
you know what I'm saying? Like forget all that back and forth talking shit. I'm going to put up numbers. I'm going to shoot from the logo, and you're going to look dumb as hell trying to guard me.
Right. I mean, I'm getting me wrong. Like I said, I like Steph. He's definitely right now the greatest shooter in our time. Yeah, definitely. But I was but when they got KD, the whole KD situation, that was just like, bro.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, to me, that I was looking at him like,
yeah. So let me ask you this: with KD situation, do you think he's going to stay in Brooklyn, or do you think he's going to leave?
That is it's so many questions after, like, whoever, like, just period with when this playoffs is over, it is so many questions about the off season with everything.
Yeah, I don't know who are free agents after this year in this off season,
No, I don't know, but I'm saying, but it's just going to be interesting, like with the whole Brooklyn situation, the LA Lakers situation, Philly situation, because people are like really like, I heard that, like, for real, it's either Doc or Harden, and like there's some teammates that, like, especially Maxey, he was like frustrated. They can't stand Harden.
Yo, I will say this. I feel like Maxi's going to have a dope future in the league.
Yeah.
He's not a bad player.
Like people, they was just pissed out the way Harden was playing. But yeah, I don't know. Like between, like I said, with Brooklyn, the Lakers, Philly, yeah, it's just up in there. Like I'm just curious to see like what's going to happen at like the off season. So I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so I have a list of a few people that are free agents this off season or whatever. Bradley Beal, that's a player option.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, it's a player option. Zach LaVine. Zach, stay.
Yeah, stay.
Y'all doing great. Stay.
Yeah, it's just that I don't know. I was rooting for the Bulls. I ain't gonna lie. They was doing great at the beginning of the season until like I think the All-Star break, they started struggling real bad. So
was it Stephen A. Smith? I forgot who said it. But early in the season, they was like the Chicago Bulls would do better than the Miami Heat.
Jokes on you. So
DeAndre Ayton, restricted. James Harden, player option.
Ain't Ben Simmons.
I think Miles Bridges, restricted.
Okay.
Hey, Miles, stay.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, Colin Sexton, you stay your ass in Cleveland. You're dope. Jonas Valanciunas, Anthony Simmons, he's restricted. Nurkic, Marvin Bagley III, Russell Westbrook.
You
know what I'm saying? And then everyone else is some other people would be Tyus Jones, who's good for Memphis.
Yeah, he was. He did definitely, especially in that Minnesota series. Yeah.
Gary Payton II.
Wow.
I didn't know you were 29 years old, but you stay your ass and go to state.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I knew he was older because he didn't went straight.
He came from the what, G League?
Yeah, he played
overseas.
I think he played the G League and overseas too, because he didn't jump from the NBA after college when he played at Oregon. So I remember him when he was playing at Oregon. But yeah, he didn't go straight to the NBA. I think he went to the G League and I think overseas.
And then he got bumped up to the
yeah.
Victor Oladipo.
Stay in Miami, man.
Get healthy too. Get healthier.
Yeah, but he's a good six man for them.
Yes. 100%.
Well, actually, Tyler's a six man, but still. But I don't know, man.
Another one is Malik Monk.
Oh yeah, actually, I would say stay in LA because he wasn't the reason why they struggled. He did good. He played a good season.
Yeah.
But as far as like the Warriors, like the whole KD situation, I was looking at him as the bad guy. Like, yo, damn, like, and also too, like with but like I said, with the whole Dallas and Phoenix, I'm surprised Dallas has made it to Game 7. I ain't gonna lie, but it's gonna be interesting. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't been watching because I've been pissed off with the whole, like, Chris Paul, he can like make a foul happen and try to act. And same thing with for real, that situation where he grabbed dude's arm and he tried to act like, oh, like, come on, bro. And, like, he did a couple of like cheap moves that he did. Same thing with Devin Booker when he got hit and he stayed in the ground and he tried to look around and see the camera. So the camera was right there looking at him. He was like, oh, and he was like, try to act like, Yeah, but shout out to Luca though. We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely the East is like just interesting, period. Regardless what happens with this game with Milwaukee and Boston. But yeah, it's gonna be, like I said, a redo from the bubble, who regardless of who wins this game, it's gonna be a redo, a rematch on how it was in the bubble. But it was gonna be nice. But yeah, man. As far as the free agency and the off season, I'm just curious to see how it goes. There was rumors talking about like, to answer your question, I'm more likely, I don't know. To me, be honest with you, Steve Nash should leave. No diss Steve, but yeah, he's a great player. It's just like, it's like, I don't know. They just need a better coach. But as far as the players concerned, I don't see KD leaving Brooklyn. I see more likely Kyrie. Because that was the whole situation with him and the vaccine and all that. And yeah, and he was kind of a no-show on the Boston series. The last couple of games they played.
I'd say damn sure not the first game.
Yeah, especially those games that was needed. And don't get me started with Ben Simmons, but to me, I think he is gonna. It'd be funny what if he went, like, if he leaves and go to LA Lakers, because that's where he want to go. That'd be him.
I could see that.
Cause that's like a rumor too.
I could see that. I think my thing with the Lakers is he can choose your players a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because and like I said, AD needs to get back in that gym, man, and bulk up some more. You know, and I think those guys need shooters, legit, pure shooters. You need to step your defense up. Excuse me, and you need
better coach,
someone that's a lot more reliable than LeBron.
Yeah.
Not knocking LeBron, but I feel like he needs more help, especially if a guy like AD is going to continue to be hurt like this. He needs another guy there, a guy that he could really depend on. Not knocking Russell, but Russell wasn't that guy. He needs another guy that can, hold it down. So when he sits on the bench and try to get his stuff together, that other person is holding it down. I mean, so or one or two other guys, you know what I mean, to for that team to get back to where it was. It sucked that they didn't make the playoffs, but at the same time, man, hey man, you think certain things is gonna happen because you look on paper, oh man, they got this guy and that guy and that guy. It's like, I mean, when I saw it, like I said before, I saw the people that was coming in this season and was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't know if it's enough to get the job done. Because I'm looking like these guys are good players, but the certain guys are kind of past their prime that he got, and I feel like if this was like a few years ago, it would be,
it would have worked. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
But it's just not that. And I mean, I tried to watch games when I could, and I if anything, I try to watch more highlights or whatever. But it's like, yo, I think he needs that balance of experienced guys and then younger guys that have some experience, but they can learn from the vets as well as LeBron and and their coach. And if that, and it's also a chemistry thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you also have to realize just because you teamed up with LeBron doesn't mean that you played like LeBron.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? LeBron is a one of one. He's a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? He's a freak of nature. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? John Morant's a beast. Luka's a beast. You got certain guys, man, on certain teams that are just, they do out of this world things when they're court.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just because you decide to play with, the best player in the league, whatever have you, doesn't mean that that's gonna, I think it will kind of increase your game, but you're not going to be on LeBron's level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think with the Lakers, they just need that balance of younger guys, vets, and then they kind of get together and try to work each other game, and have that chemistry, because a lot of people don't talk about chemistry when it comes to teams. You know what I'm saying? Especially with basketball, So I hope they figure it out. And it's a couple other teams, man, that I thought was going to do better this year. Cause the season before this one, the Knicks had a great season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened this year.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I thought Atlanta was going to do a little bit better, but they still made it to playoffs. Listen, I don't know what's up with Portland. I hope that they find some guys to help out with Dame, to help with Damian, because Damian's a dope player, future Hall of Famer, and I would love to see him, get that help and get over that hump of either not going to the playoffs or only making it to the first round or the semis or whatever. You know what I mean? And I do feel, I think Utah also played some good ball, but in spite of staying there, man, I think they might need like another guy or whatever. But like we said before, that Western Conference is just so stacked. And like you said, the East is starting to get just as competitive and stacked as well.
Mm-hmm.
So and I think that's making it for better ball when both conferences have these, these tough competitive teams that's trying to get to the top or whatever. Like it makes for great ball, because a while ago it was a thing where the West was just taking over was just taking over.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of and it was like maybe a couple of teams in the East that was just as developed as teams in the West.
Yeah.
And it looked like certain teams in the West that wasn't doing as well, they have better records than teams on the East. You feel me? So it's good that there's a balance now within the NBA.
So we'll see. We'll see,
Yeah.
man.
But I also want to mention two other albums that came out over the weekend that I also thoroughly enjoyed. One is by a rapper by the name of Lakely 47, which has an album called Shape Up. Good album. Really good stuff. She's a rapper and a singer.
Mm-hmm.
She got quite a few joints on here where she's singing mostly, and her singing voice has got better. Like it wasn't whack, but it's like she really improved on it. Like it really got it's really sharp now. Rapping is dope. She got joints that for the club and for the walkway, man. You know what I mean? She be on her fashion ish with it. She also be doing stuff for certain songs where the the LGBT community rock with. She actually got a song called Jaywalk with Miss J from America's Top Model. That's the dark skinned brother on there. He's talking through it or whatever. She actually has a song that's I can honestly say it's influenced by Baltimore club music. And it's good. Like you hear the samples and then you're like, oh man, she took it there. And she has a song called Chitty Chitty Bang, where if you remember the one iPhone commercial where this little baby's running around the house. And I think it was this because she had the phone, because the baby had the phone in her hand and it was just showing how indestructible the phone is, because the baby was doing stuff with the phone,
Vaguely,
slamming it or
I vaguely
whatever.
remember. Yeah, I vaguely remember.
That's that record by Lakely.
Okay.
There's another one called BITM called Bitch I'm the Man, which also had a dope video for, and she had I forgot the other one she had a video for, but man, it's but it's really dope stuff. I know of her because she had a couple songs on a couple of Insecure soundtracks.
Mm.
And she puts on a dope live show. I saw her live a couple years back, so I think 2019 maybe. So yeah, salute to her. You know what I'm saying, and the next one that I want to say is excuse me, he's a Griselda affiliate by the name of El Camino, and I'm trying to find the name of the album. Excuse me, y'all. I think. It's called Let There Be Light.
Mm.
You know, the brother is dope. Buffalo MC. You know, he does a thing where he's another one that kind of sings a little bit too, but in this way he talks about his life mostly, and you know, doing his thing out there in the streets and stuff like that. But it seems like he's another guy where I feel like each project I hear him on, he gets better and better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he drops projects pretty frequent too, like 2 to 3 every year, something like that. Kind of like what the other brothers from Griselda doing, what Currency does, and he actually has a track with Currency on this album. So if you're a fan of that Griselda sound, you will thoroughly enjoy this album. You know what I'm saying? Also check out, this came out 2 weeks ago, but Ransom put out a project that's pretty good too. Check that out. You know what I mean? And for people that like rock, kind of like bluesy kind of rock, I'm a fan of the Black Keys, and they just put out an album Friday, and it's really good. You know what I'm saying? White boys got some soul. Salute to the Black Keys. You know what I mean?
Hear that stuff.
Yeah. What got me into today's stuff was they had a song on the they had a song with the RZA on the Man with the Iron Fist soundtrack, and I was like, oh yeah, I've always seen the name, but I was like, yo, they sound all right. And then from there, I just bought some of their stuff at Soundgarden. Shout out to Soundgarden. I hope y'all still good.
Yeah, I've been they got they built something outside of next to them. It's like it's still part of them. I forgot what it's called, but I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been. I tried to go there last year, but it was like they had like crazy hours. This is when like kind of like it was still in lockdown. This is like like around this time. I want to say Like I was trying to look like it was closed or look like it was it was crazy. But yeah, they built a whole different I forgot what it's called. Which made the parking lot they had, it's like a little tighter.
Yeah.
But it's like more it's like it's not it's like a little tighter now. It's not like you can park all the way in the back like that. Yeah, so it's yeah. But shout out to them though. Thank you for Go DJing. Good times. But it's just a good times period when we all used to go out there.
We had a ball, son.
Yeah. I still try to support as much as I can, but yeah, I try to go there a couple of times. This like during like beginning months of the pandemic, but the hours was like kind of crazy. They wasn't open, like they was like open half day at the time. So, but yeah, but this is it, y'all. Episode 56.
Mr. Shaun, anything else you got to say?
I believe I got one birthday shout out. It's later on this week. We filming this on a Sunday, the 15th. So on the 20th, my man Josh, aka Afro Thunder. Happy early birthday, sir. Know what I'm saying? Salute to your family as well.
Yeah, that's the nickname.
Yeah, that's his name on YouTube, Afro Thunder. Yeah.
But what's funny is that that's so him. That name is so him. Yeah. That's what's funny about it.
Yeah, word.
Like,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. Salute to my man. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my man Josh, aka Afro Thunder. Happy birthday, man. Happy early birthday. I'm gonna try to
Bro.
link up with you that weekend. Feel me?
Bro, he can be
Man.
like, that could be like for a video game character or
You could be a superhero.
superhero, or if he was like in a B-boy group. Yo, I'm hollering, man, Afro Thunder gonna take care of this.
Heck yeah. That is some breakdown shit. Oh yeah.
But it do sound like, straight up, a gamer name.
Yeah, they do. Shout out to Coach Monty Williams for winning Coach of the Year.
Yeah, shout out, well deserved, definitely. Well, Tyler, yeah, he deserved it. I'm gonna say someone else deserved a 6-man too, but I can't think. But still think that Ja Moran, well, he wasn't the most. I mean, to me, should have been.
I didn't think so either.
He was like in discussion for the MVP, but
That's what I'm put him in.
yeah, so I didn't get that. But I mean, salute to him. But he did give his award to Desmond Bain, who had a good season.
Did he? Nice. Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, he gave him I think that's the trophy to him. But who else?
That's fire.
But trying to think. Yeah, you got Marcus Smart, defense player of the year. That was deserved too.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year is predicted the rookie of the year. Oh well, MVP. Damn, we didn't talk about it. Yeah. Embiid was robbed.
Jokic got it, right?
Yeah,
yeah, that's bullshit. Embiid should have got that.
Yeah, Embiid should have deserved that. I don't think they did the rookie of the year. Oh yeah, Scotty Barnes. Salute to him.
Salute to Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, he did. Okay. He did. Yeah, he did won that.
Okay. Yeah.
Deserved.
I thought the kid from Detroit was gonna get it.
Okay. Yeah, but nah, I was.
He did all right.
They did all right, but to me, I thought Scotty was
Gotcha.
played. Yeah. A better
Scotty
season.
Yeah, he had a good year. Yeah.
Actually, I ain't gonna lie. Maxey he could have been in the conversation too for most improved player, Tyrone Maxey.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, Maxey was good.
But then I thought like Jordan Poole was gonna get it. I say Jordan Peele early, but yeah, Jordan Poole. Nope.
He's a rookie.
Huh? No, most improved. Most improved.
Most improved. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100% him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Bro.
But yeah, y'all. Episode. That's it, man. You see it.
That's it. Solo single. No more, no less.
So yeah, continue to subscribe on our YouTube channel, to like us on Facebook and Instagram. Everything's blurred. Everything's blurred on everything.
Word.
All right, this is yours truly, Brion.
I am the MR.SHAUN, Mr. Shaun.
There you have it, folks. Episode 56. Thanks for watching. Hello.